What's going on, everybody? My name's Leaky Tatsman. This video in particular is going to focus on my favourite genre, and that is platformers. A bit of a lost art in the current generation, I'm sure you'll agree. Since these games, by nature, a lot of you won't know them, especially those of you that are of the younger inclination. I will include annotations which you can click to watch a gameplay video of the game that I'm talking about. These will open in a new window, so it won't impede watching this current video, and it gives you an idea of what the hell I'm talking about. So feel free to click those at any point. But without further ado, these are the following games that I would love to see a sequel for. BanjoTooie, or a sequel to BanjoTooie. I'm sure you've probably seen me comment at some point on a video that Banjo 3 needs to happen, and it does. Why, you ask? Because the first two games were, simply put, incredible. And when Rare made Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, and they gave us that incredible art style and the graphics engine which just looks so great, and then have us mess around in vehicles, which was fun, but it's no bona fide platformer, let's make no qualms about that. And I would just love to return into the whole Banjo universe. I know Rare may have lost a lot of its magic as a developer, but if this supposed merger with Nintendo is back on, then they could recapture a lot of that magic, in my opinion. And keeping in with Rare, because they are an absolute god, I would love to see a sequel to Conker, or Conker's Bad Fur Day. Conker was a game that, outside of its toilet humour, which was incredibly funny just because I'm immature, it was a superb platformer, and Conker is a great mascot to have for a console, and I don't get why he's not utilised more. He might not go down too well in the current overly PC world that we're in, but I for one would love to see Conker come back in some capacity. Alright, another game I would love to see a sequel for is Alex Kidd. Now, a lot of you probably don't know what I'm on about here, but it was a 2D platformer back on the original Master System, and it had a couple of sequels, but it's one that I would love to see a fully fledged current generation title for. It was a very, very solid platformer, and it had a lot of elements beyond what platformers at the time had, so I know Sega aren't really up to scratch with what they were like, but it's a game that I would be heavily invested in if they were to bring out another for the Xbox or PlayStation. Okay, another platformer I'd love to see a sequel for is Oddworld, and I'm talking a bona fide platformer, not this first-person shooter spin-off BS. The Oddworld world, for lack of a better term, is simply put amazingly atmospheric, and it's another game with a great sense of humour, and far too many games take themselves too seriously these days, and I certainly think that there is enough of a following for Oddworld and enough of a gap in the market that this game needs to become a reality. Whether it's 3D or a whole new 2D adventure just as a downloadable title, irrelevant, I just want to see some more Oddworld, and I'm sure you guys agree with me on that one. Okay, another game I'd love to see back is Kid Chameleon. This may be another one where you're scratching your heads trying to figure out what the hell it is. Well, it was a platformer on the Mega Drive / Genesis for our American friends, where basically you put on masks of different animals or, say, jobs, quote unquote, and your abilities changed depending on what mask you were wearing, and it opened up a lot of gameplay avenues which weren't particularly abundant at the time. So it's definitely a game that I'd like to see a fully fledged sequel for. It's a game that I have very fond memories of, and done right, it could definitely work, and work very well. Okay, this next one, you're probably going to laugh at me, but I don't care, I'm going to say it anyway. Super Princess Peach needs a sequel because it is a damn good platformer. It is one of my favourite platformers on the DS, and I don't care if it's a game aimed at girls, it was damn fun, and the level design was solid, it was challenging enough without being stupidly ridiculously hard, and the different powers you used on the umbrella opened up a lot of interesting gameplay. So I would definitely love to see another Super Princess Peach on the 3DS, ideally. I don't know how well the original sold, but damn it Nintendo, just do it because you owe the women. That's who you're doing this for, not me. And staying in line with handheld platformers, a game that I would love to see a sequel for is Super Mario Land. It would technically be a fourth game in the series since Wario Land counted as the third one, but either way, a bona fide Super Mario Land rather than Wario. For those of you that haven't played either of the first two games, they were out on the Game Boy, and although they were Mario games at their core, they diversified a lot of elements of the game and added a lot of things that you wouldn't normally see in a Mario game, and it was quite a refreshing change, to be honest. So I'd definitely like to see a return of that sub-series, shall we call it. And to round off this video, my final platforming game that I would love to see a sequel for is Jak and Daxter. I'd love to see a fourth game in the series. I know Naughty Dog may have their hands full with The Last of Us and potentially Uncharted 4, but Jak and Daxter really refined a lot of platforming elements for me, and it was one of the last true platformers in my opinion, and I'd love to see it brought into the next generation. And seeing as Naughty Dog just go from strength to strength with each game they make, I'm sure Jak 4 would be just a stunning game. And there you have it. Those are my games that I would love to see sequels for, but purely platformers. A big thank you for taking your time to watch this. I know you have many choice of YouTubers, and I appreciate you for choosing Leaky Tatsman. So thanks very much, and have a nice day. Goodbye.